They're going to tell the same story, but each of them in their own genre. So what I need from you are 5 genres or styles of stories you'd like them to tell.
Soap opera.
Soap opera?
Greek tragedy.
Soap opera? Greek tragedy. Let's say Greek tragedy. Greek tragedy?
Slasher film.
Slasher?
Dada.
Cookbook? Cookbook. Do we have them all? One more. Suspense? Slasher movie? I heard that one before.
Interpretive dance.
Interpretive dance? Interpretive dance. Now, they're going to start the story, and then I'm going to tap them on the shoulder and then tap them back out, and they will switch telling the stories. But they have to keep in their genre, and this is where you come in. If they screw up in any way, or if they repeat the sentence that the person before them just said, or if they hesitate, you get to yell, die. Let me hear it. Die! Oh, good. And then they have to die in the manner of their genre. So, now let's go over their genres again.
Greek tragedy. Slasher film.
Interpretive dance.
Cookbook.
Okay.
Okay. Lydia went over to her boyfriend Steve, and you know what she found? She found Steve in there with his brother, of all things. Can you
believe it? But Steve was wearing a little string bikini just like she was, and they were both playing in the pool just so, innocently, when all of a sudden the sky got dark and stuff was going on they didn't understand, perhaps like a Ouija board was being played. Well, you know what happens next, suddenly?
The Ouija board diced into small sections. The most amazing steak. You can cook it over a grill.
and then serve it to your husband when he doesn't realize that you slipped in a little bit of aphrodisiac. Then later on in the evening when he doesn't suspect it.
And the aphrodisiac was actually hemlock. When you serve it to your husband, he drops dead. So Lydia took it to her husband and
Then she said, body number 1. And the body was placed upon a bed because that would be the first body this night in this weird game. Anyway, he took out the mighty big knife of blood, that's what it's called.
And did this little dance with it. And it was really cool, and they were moving in and out with the knife, and that kind of hurt. But they were still doing it all over the place. And all of us...
Of course, taking the knife all over the place isn't the best procedure. Actually, just brisk chopping of the
taking the knife and dicing the salad, and then, well, he actually dies off stage because you can't really have people dying.
But it would be nice because we are in a film, aren't we? And that's what we're paying to see. So he takes out the giant knife of blood and stabs it into the teeny bopper girl.
Didn't really know how to cook that well. Now, Betty was a wonderful cook.
And Betty could also do this really cool ballet dance all over the plaza. That's where they were going. So they went down there and did this really cool pirouettes all around, and they made people guess what they were doing because these pirouettes actually looked like a dance that they would perform erotically for their...
Weed whackers, because they're possessed by Satan. And when activated, they didn't even have to use a cord, They can just go around.
Satan is actually the god Dionysus in the Greek. Dionysus
Likes to watch lots of blood because blood and wine kind of go together,
And the wine is so beautiful with candlelight and a romantic...
dinner. But you don't want to put a little too much wine in because if you get tipsy, you can't really appreciate
the dance that's going on right in front of your eyes. So Lydia and her new boyfriend, Jake, who walked into the room, decided to do this lovely...
Then they would. He stood up and he did this lovely dance until he fell off dead, except somebody else described it, and a messenger came in and told them all about how he fell down and died and nobody saw it.
So then Lydia was without a dancing partner, so she went down to Miller's dance class.
where where she knew this really great recipe would be hidden inside
The box of chocolates that her boyfriend gave her last year,
that were kind of rotten, but if you put just this
a pair of arsenic and slip it to your boyfriend's girlfriend because you know that she's a real bitch. And when she takes it, she starts choking and heaving. And you really love it.
Candies are a rather desolate warehouse somewhere on the Lower East Side, where anything can happen. Even weird stuff with Ouija boards.
Where you can dance to them all night long. So Jen,
Took the knife and the Ouija board, and she went out dancing again.
and all around the plaza again and again, people threw money
And she wanted weed whackers, so she went and bought herself a weed whacker, you know.
and used it in this little two-step that she was doing.
with her other piece of the utensil that she also used to stir the meat. Because a little dance, a weed whacker, and a utensil are the best combination for stirring.
Hurry! And when you're done stirring, you can do a little rap dance that, white people usually can't do. Like,
Of course, wrapping your food isn't best. Until it's in the freezer. And you decide to make it green.
Because green is great, but like if you wrap it, then it won't turn exactly green, the green you want it when you look at guts and gore and junk. And there was a split in the little wrapping paper.
so she did this dance to make it form together. And then this new guy came in the room named Harold.
Who really liked to drink tea.
And he would do this really cool nesting one.
That would send him in a caffeine fit that made him grab his magic pliers and squeeze people's noses off.
With these pliers. Now the pliers with a little bit of nose, used like taking the pan out of the oven, is going to give it that spice you really need.
And when you have those spices, you just feel like Santa.
You go. Dancing over your food. Because this emotional balance is what
What really sets you into that dancing frenzy night
and day. Now the dancing frenzy
is really this great thing described in Webster's Dictionary under the word dance. And then this
bit piece of slime came in and took that meat off of the oven before it was done.
and he just couldn't believe it. Well, he just,
Took the meat and he made it into a man. He made it into meat man, the meat cut. Meat cutting man had 3 eyes and a mean pliers.
and Martha, he cut a rug. So they went dancing around, and he just loved it.
Because they could look at rugs being cut. Rugs on people's heads. Those are the best kind of cut.
And so the meat cutting man, while he was cutting his rug, danced around and slipped and fell under the knife and died.
Now the knife that he died on should
We realized that as the sacred knife of death, which he then took, which was controlled by some magic force, and punched his heart until he died.